Hello and welcome back to Zekism Wrestling. Asuka, the brilliance that is Asuka, the Empress of Tomorrow, although I don't know why they keep calling her that, Empress of Today. This is going to be a bit of a fawning video, to be honest. The brilliance that is Asuka. I think we can't help but notice what she's doing at the moment, and I'll get into that as well, and I think how brilliant she is at the moment. But historically, she recently just celebrated her 10-year WWE anniversary, and congratulations to her for that. I think that she has been one of the most consistent, most standout performers of all time. I think she's one of the best wrestlers in the world today, and I think she's one of the best wrestlers in the female division of all time. Not that that should be, separated or anything, but I think she is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the most entertaining wrestlers I've ever seen. And since her debut in NXT, which is, I'm not going to pretend I watched her before that, I've been captivated by her. I think she's, just go through her repertoire, I think she is endlessly entertaining, a brilliant in-ring wrestler anyway, in her own right, tough as nails, and someone I genuinely look forward to seeing on TV, whatever she's doing. I think she's endlessly entertaining, and credit to her for that. Congratulations for a 10-year anniversary. Now, we'll get into the current day. For me, I think Asuka and the Asuka Io Kairi storyline is the best thing in WWE at the moment. Now, I know people out there will be shouting, damning it with faint praise. I genuinely think it's not only entertaining, but it's really interesting as well. It's corny in places, and I get the sort of hammy acting of some of the participants. I think adding Rhea adds a little bit of star power to it, but nevertheless, I think it is an interesting story, and I think it's interesting because I think the creative is being led by Asuka, Io, perhaps Kairi as well, and more power to it. And I think, look, there's a chance I might be wrong. This is pure speculation on my part, that the creative team in WWE, the writers, may be writing this stuff. But I'll dispel that myth, because I think if you pay attention to what Asuka's doing, Asuka herself is doing on social media, what she's been doing on her YouTube channel in terms of the video she's making, sort of explaining the storyline in way more grounded depth than they ever went to on telly, about sort of, the history of Japanese wrestling. I'm not sure off the top of my head if that's female specific Japanese wrestling, but certainly the apprentice and master tradition that they've got over there, that they're leaning into that. Asuka being the sort of, the empress, if you like, or the sort of master who has these apprentices that have to follow her lead and sort of not obey her, but let's be honest, obey her, and respect always, regardless of what the instructions are. They've actually led the way in terms of creating the path for them to come over to the West and wrestle and earn fortunes and whatever, and championships. I think it's a brilliant storyline. It's really interesting, sort of the cultural significance to it, but I think also the execution, I think for the most part, has been really great. And like I said, maybe it's damning with faint praise, should I say. There's not a lot that's interesting at the moment, although I think they've picked up a bit more since WrestlePalooza ended, not during that show, but ended. This storyline in particular, I think I'm really looking forward to seeing where they go with it. And if as I'm confident saying, just from optics and sort of watching what's going on, I mean, if you watched Asuka's content on her channel, Kana-chan TV, I think I'm right in saying that's what. Her sort of, not, I mean, now she's trolling them, but the explanation of the system in Japan and what she's doing and why she's doing it, and the entertaining way she does what she does, I think it's a really great storyline. And I think, like I said in the description of this video, that we may be on the beginning of her peak period in WWE, certainly, and maybe all-time her career. She's cemented her legacy already. There's no need to there's no need for someone stupid like me online to go, oh, she's great. She is. She just absolutely is. She's got world championships to boot. I mean, the biggest compliment I could possibly give her is that she succeeded even under Vince McMahon, who really wasn't a fan of anyone coming out of NXT, seemingly. So I think even he was able to see how entertaining she could be, and just let her, you know, obviously I told her what to say and controlled her in only ways that only he can. But I think even through that, she shone through, and even he couldn't not acknowledge. Okay, yep, she's a superstar. I can back her. So credit to her for that. Yeah, I mean, this fawning rant of mine is nearly over. Trust me, but for the most part, I think we're in the beginning of peak Asuka. I see a world title involved in this. I think we are inevitably leading towards an Io versus Asuka singles feud. That excites me no end. I think Io, you know, dovetailing onto an Io for a second, she's gotten over super strong. And like you said, it flies in the face to anyone who says that they have to speak verbatim, word for word English in order to get over in the West, because it's absolute BS. If someone is entertaining enough, is good enough, is charismatic enough, and like I said, can walk and talk and do it all, doesn't matter what language is, just one barrier that they can smash through. And I think, yeah, I'll sort of wrap up this video by saying I think Asuka is about to go on a run here and solidify her legacy. And I think the way to do it, I mean, this is probably, dare I say it, the first proper storyline she's properly had as a focal point, as a figure. I know she's the antagonist, but certainly I can't remember many things. I mean, she's been this immovable object, and so has let her in ring do most of the talking for most of her career. Very few storylines I can remember, most of which are sort of her being sort of a henchman in the Bayley versus Io feud a couple of years ago. NXT didn't have many storylines other than, again, her being this dominant force in ring. On main roster, I can't remember many storylines that she had whatsoever. So this is, you know, I don't want to say the last piece, but one of the things that excites me about it is it's Asuka getting to sort of get her teeth into an actual storyline with actual emotional investment. And I think this is where we're properly going to have her cement her legacy as one of the all-time greats. I don't know if there's any doubters out there. If there are, they're wrong. But that's just my take. What do you think? Am I onto something here? Everyone just celebrate Asuka because she's brilliant. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below. Please leave a like and subscribe on the channel, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.